Good morning, my name is Francois. Welcome to the Lego and Macro build channel. Today we're continuing with the front end of the Defender. This is the original Defender. The Lego has re-released this one a little bit smaller. The one I'm building is a 110 scale. The re-release is a 112 scale, so it's a tiny bit smaller. My preference, I really like the 1/8 scale supercars, but this Defender goes back a few years and is one of the first ones to have multiple gears, and so it is an interesting build just on its own. So with that, we're going to continue on with the front end. It looks like we're going to start working on some suspension pieces. So we need a couple of 3 posts and 2 posts and some struts. 1, 2, 3, 4 struts. There we go. Excuse me. So we have a sub-assembly to deal with. We'll have 2 going into that one. That side, and then the 3 will go through and we'll go a half out like that. Now one thing you'll notice on these 2 posts is that there's a little indent, and that indent is halfway through one full post. And that tends to become important as the build continues, or especially with these suspension pieces, when you're connecting to a half wide strut. It just makes it a little easier. But I'm sure, as I say, the folks at Lego have completely thought this through. So again, you want to make sure that you have your orientation correctly, because, as I say, everything with Lego matters. When they ask you to put something in a particular direction or orientation, it will ultimately become important down the road, because they will be asking for it later. So there we go. So now we have the one side done. Move over and get the other side. And again, we're coming through on the back side. Here. We want to have the strut in position. And again, we're going to have half sticking through. We now have added support to our front axles. And now we begin to put some suspension pieces in. So, these are shock absorbers. Ooh. We need 3. Now, let us see how we're doing this. We have a gray and a black. We're going to, it goes on the outside, all right. And we leave it sitting like so. We now need another strut. And it's going to go inside here. And drive the number 3 all the way back. And we have the beginnings of a suspension system. 2 long throw struts. Again, we'll do that again on the other side. Number 3, point. And we're going to come halfway through and stop, allowing room for second suspension piece to go through. Again, then we drive it all the way home. And then we have our second suspension pieces in. And from there, we're going to have a positive stop. All right, so then we're going to have a stop for the steering wheel, because it needs to know where it can stop. So with that, we'll start gathering some pieces. And the black cap. And because these are small pieces, they generally always fall into the bottom. Now we need a small, rounded black shoe post. And again, we're looking for a black piece and a sea of black. And because they all look the same, until we can get them out of the black. I'll put you on pause as I locate this pesky little piece. Stand by. All right, we did find that pesky piece after all. And we're going to continue on. We need 2 1.5s, 1 double connector, and another 3-axle. Build this subassembly up. I'm going to make this like so. Put these 1/2 connectors, 1.5 posts. Put this on. And we have a cap. And this will go in here too. Looks like this piece is to keep the travel down on the axle. And we get to rebuild that one again. The other side. Fortunately, I had anticipated that and had found that other pesky piece ahead of time. So with that, we're going to carry on. We need 2 1/2, 1 double, and another 3. Of course, this one will be built in the opposite orientation as the one we have just done. Again, be very careful to ensure that we get everything properly oriented. And this fellow is going to go into this. And now we have got both limits on our travel. And with that, looks like a good place to break for now. We'll be back shortly.